This is a holding tank for a poison dart frog, a Dendrobates Tinctorius Azureus, in fact. And this dart frog has stayed in this tank for a while I've been building a vivarium, a bioactive vivarium. And in this video, that is what I will be doing. Okay, let's jump straight into it. So behind the tank over here is all the things I will be using to make this vivarium. I've got various mosses, I've got dragonstone, oak leaves. This here is dark mystery pilea. It's a bit wilted at the moment, but I have confidence that it will come back if watered. I've got some cork bark, which is this, and I have a good idea for this. You'll see in a minute. I've got the drainage layer here, which is some pebbles from an old fish tank. This was actually mislabeled in the store. I thought it was something, but it wasn't, but it will still work. These are some small ivy and pothos plants that I might add in eventually when they have roots. Yeah, I've got a bunch of different kinds of moss, a lot of varieties. There's a bunch of tree moss, fern moss, and carpet and cushion moss. Over here, I have set up a small cup for the dart frog while I'm making the tank, because the tank is the one it's in currently and I can't make it while it's in there. These are the fruit flies I'll show you later, and yeah. In the last video I made, I did not have this acrylic lid. I just made it and it's working pretty well. It's super clear. There's a mesh bit here so that the front doesn't fog up too much. And right now it's not too bad of an enclosure. It just has really not enough plants and they're not planted and stuff. It doesn't look very natural. And it's not bioactive, and that's the key. That's my goal for this new one. It's going to be bioactive with springtails and isopods and a bunch of other stuff. So, always put your gloves on and let's get to work. Okay, so at the moment I just took off the light in the lid and I'm going to try to catch the frog now. I think, yeah, there he is in the little pot. He's pretty small at the moment. Actually, I say he, but I don't know for sure. It's a small one. I will be getting 2 more tadpoles pretty soon, probably in about a week. I will do some videos about them. So yeah, look out for that. And in the meantime, please subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and you can always undo it later if you want. Okay, let's catch this guy. He's pretty hard. They're pretty hard to catch and get where you want them to go because they're small and easily damaged, and you never want to touch them too much. I'm doing it with gloves, of course, which is good because if you touch them, they can get pretty sick and die because they absorb pretty much everything they touch. And by the way, they are not poisonous in captivity. That they only are poisonous in the wild from the things they eat, like ants and things like that. Okay, I got him in. Now I just have to be careful not to pinch him. Okay, here it is in this little cup. I'll put this by a heat lamp with a thermometer in there to make sure he does not get too hot, and I will be checking him constantly throughout the video. So, yeah, let's start this vivarium. Okay, while I'm doing that, I'll talk a little bit about what the frogs need. So, they definitely need the temperature to be above 60, pretty much, above like 69. So, pretty much from 70 to 80. I think 72 to 74 is the best. That's what mine's at the moment, and probably will be later on. I've got 2 heat mats in the back. One of them doesn't heat up very much, so we got the second one with a thermostat, so it's always going. That's what the little probe in the right that you can see is from. And the humidity is always good from 80 to a little bit over 100. They like it very wet, but the thing with dart frogs, they like dry feet, wet back, which means you should have leaf litter on the ground and probably make sure the ground is always not as wet as like in the air or like dripping from leaves. Because if it's too wet on the ground and like there's water on the ground and stagnant, then they can get foot rot, and that's not good for them at all. So yeah, always have a thermometer and hygrometer. That's what the little round thing is in the back. I'll take out presently. Tells you the temperature and humidity. Yes, here it is. Yeah, always have that there, and it's not very pretty, but I'll try to hide it behind some plants later on when I put it back in there. Okay, here it is without the dirt in it. It took a while to do, but we did it. Okay, now I'm going to fill it with the drainage layer. Now this is always needed in a terrarium unless it's small, because it doesn't have a lot of water if it's small. This is always needed because if the water in your terrarium needs someplace to go and it's going into the soil, if it goes just into the soil, it will make a bunch of bacteria in there and then it will get very bad very fast. But now the water can go through the soil into the rocks, and the rocks don't have nearly as much bacteria in them, so yeah, that'll do a lot of good with the water just sitting in them instead of the dirt. This is mesh for the drainage layer separator, or the substrate separator. It is so the dirt does not sit directly on top of the drainage layer and can't go into it, because it will slide into the rocks eventually. This will stop most of it from doing so. Okay, now that that's done, I will be getting on with the substrate. This substrate I made from a mix of worm castings, cocoa fiber, and peat moss. And this will do good because the cocoa fiber holds a lot of moisture and is nice and fluffy and springy and is a lot like a jungle. Peat moss, pretty much the same thing, just adds some different texture. And then the worm castings is very good for the plants. Just so you know, this clip is sped up. I'm not actually this fast. Time for the hardscape. Right now I'm using dragonstone, and this stuff is good for aquariums and terrariums. It adds really good texture to the terrarium and just looks good and all. This is some cork bark too. This is the cork bark round I showed you earlier. This is probably going to be the main centerpiece. I was thinking, I don't know exactly where I'll put it. I'm thinking somewhere over on the right, and possibly with a plant growing out of it. I'm just trying to figure out where and what angle to put it at. Okay, that's where I like it. Now I'm putting the dragonstone up here. I'm thinking of putting the dragonstone in a spot where I can sort of make an upper layer of this terrarium. So I can put it like this and then put dirt up behind it, and it'll hold that in place. Okay, these are manzanita and madrone branches, and I think it's pretty much always good to have these in there. It just adds a lot of height to the terrarium and it just looks good and all, and then you can put moss on them and make them look really cool. I'm thinking of just having them going randomly across, probably one from here so that the frog can get up and down from there. Yeah, this might take a bit, this one. Let's see here. This is a small lava rock that I had just lying around, and I thought it could look nice in here. I am now adding substrate behind the rocks and in the stump, as you see now. Okay, now I think it's time for planting. And this is a jade pothos, as you can see here. I think I'll put this probably behind the stump. I think it'll grow around and into the other plants. Yeah, I think this could look nice right there. First, I gotta get it out of this pot though. Okay, that's pretty good for now. Just gotta fluff these leaves up a little bit. You can't see it much now, but it will climb out eventually. That's what pothos does. It trails everywhere, and I'll have to prune it eventually, like most of these plants. This is the one where I can't remember its name. It's called false something, and it's perfectly fine for terrariums, like I said, but it's just not what I thought it was at first. I do think it'll look very nice in here, though. Probably on the left side. It looks like a tiny tree, which I think I like a lot. Okay, it's in the substrate. Now I just have to put this branch back. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. This plant here is called banana croton, and okay, I'll be honest, it is mildly toxic to the frogs, but that is only if they eat it, and they will not be eating it. They will, if anything, they'll only lick it because there's a fruit fly on it, and that is not poisonous to them. That's only if they ingest it, so that will not be happening. It's perfectly fine. And I did my research on this. You always do your research when you're doing a vivarium, or pretty much any kind of terrarium at all. Always do your research on if things can go together and not kill each other. Because that wouldn't be a very good terrarium if everything died. That's happened to me before. Now I'm going to add this Stark Mystery Pilea. It has kind of come up a little bit from being wilted earlier. It's still a bit curled, and that will get better in time, but for now, it's good. And I'll just place it in there. I think here's a good spot. Let's see. And there it is. I think the color is not quite what it should be on this plant. It should be a little bit darker, and it's called Dark Mystery Pilea. But yeah, it should come back in a little bit once it's been watered more. Okay, this is sheet moss, and this stuff does very well in terrariums. It doesn't die very much, and it doesn't grow super fast either, but it's very good for these because it doesn't grow super tall either. I'm just gonna probably use this to mostly plant the whole floor and then use some other ones to give it some more texture. This is cushion moss, and it's very good for terrariums because it also grows on a lot of things. It mostly likes wood, but it will grow on soil or substrate like this. Yeah, and it looks very nice. It's always dark or light green, but it's never like washed out or brownish. And it doesn't really die much. It usually just dries up if there's not enough moisture, but I don't know if I've ever seen any die. I'm planting some up in the top of the stump too. Now I'm just adding a bit more texture with some more cushion moss in the back and in just cracks of little places. This is fern moss, and it's one of my favorite kinds of moss because one, it has like 1,000 different kinds of fern moss that all look similar, and two, it just gives the whole thing a more foresty look. It's kind of more wild and bristly than the rest. But yeah. It likes to grow on rocks and things. I'm putting a little bit on the dragonstone over here, and I think I'll put some in the back as well because that doesn't have as much plants. I think this vivarium is looking a lot better already with the moss covering the floor. This moss grows very well on wood and trees and things like that, so I think I will put it on the stump. It also dries up very quick if it's not always humid and wet in here. So I'll have to be careful about that, but I don't think it'll ever dry out enough for it to dry. So yeah, I think I'll put it in the cracks of the stump, and I really hope it will start to climb and grow in there. Another kind of fern moss, this is oak tree fern moss, and I don't know the exact name, I think it's just called tree fern moss. This grows very well on trees also, and it looks really cool when it's just a bunch of them growing on there. I couldn't find any small ones outside, but these are some bigger ones. I hope will, spread and make smaller ones over it. Another thing with plants, I did wash all of the ones I got from outside. I got pretty much all the mosses from outside. I washed them very well with hot water over and over. And the manzanita and madrone, I boiled. That's what you have to do for vivariums in wood. If you find it outside, you must boil it to get everything off. And the oak leaves I got are microwaved. That also kills pretty much anything off, but do not microwave the plants because that will kill the plants too. Now I'm adding sheet moss to the branches and sticks, and I'm really hoping it will attach and start to grow up them, and then the frog will like to sit on them a lot. I think it is pretty much done. This is looking really good, and it will look a lot better with the light on it. Here it is with the light on, and this looks very good. Yeah, wow. It's pretty much every inch covered with greenery, and I think this is my favorite terrarium yet. This is looking very, very good. Here I have some isopods that I want to put in there. These are powder orange isopods. I have a couple videos about them. Yes, I will add them in, and I'm hoping they'll breed in there. The frog also might eat the babies if it sees any, but it's so big, I don't know. The vivarium's so big, I don't think it'll ever see them. Here they go. Now we have to add springtails, and I do have a video of how to make a springtail culture on the channel. These guys eat mold and fungus and stuff, decaying matter. The isopods pretty much eat decaying matter. They're all detritivores. Springtails are, you know, a lot smaller and tiny and white. Yeah, the isopods eat a lot more, but the springtails eat mold, and the isopods only eat decaying matter. Let's give it a really, really good spray, and I don't actually have an automatic mister. Those are very expensive, and I'm trying to not spend too much on this vivarium, but I can just mist a lot, and I think the lid I have will not let too much moisture out, except for the vent, which animals all need oxygen, so I have to have the vent. And now the leaf litter. This is good for the frogs to sit on. Like I said, dry feet, wet back, and also the isopods will eat it and, you know, breed in there and then eat decaying matter and stuff like that also. It just also looks pretty nice in here. It doesn't quite look right without something like this. So here it is with the light on. I love the fern moss growing off the stump and the carpet moss on the ground. This dark mystery pilea hasn't sprung up quite yet. I think it will though in good time. The light on the top, I have the lid on. This will all fog up with all the moisture in a little bit. I'll have to clean it for the filming. I think I'm just about ready to add the frog though. Here he is. You can see him hopping around in there. I think he's gonna love his new home. Compared to the last one, this is a lot better. Yes, I will be able to add probably more than 2 frogs. I think I'll be able to add 3 frogs into here, and that's what I'm planning to do with the 2 tadpoles that are coming soon. I will have the 3 frogs. I'm really hoping I can get at least 1 breeding pair. That would be awesome if I could get them to breed. Yeah, and then I'll have a bunch of little frogs running around in here until I have to get rid of some. Okay, here it is. It's been in there for a couple minutes and absolutely loves it. This is probably the most I've seen it jump around. It's really exploring the place and eating a lot of the fruit flies that were left over in there. Wow, yeah, he loves to sit up on top of that stump. Now I just need a couple more things, including the thermometer. Okay, I forgot this small Photonia plant that I've been putting in here. I think I'll put this on the right over here, and it should grow to be a bit bigger. It got eaten by wild isopods in one of my other vivariums. I hope it'll do well in here. There's nothing that should eat it in here. Okay, I have these coconut huts that I made myself. You just need to split open a coconut and then carve out the insides, and then, you know, carve a hole in it. I waited till pretty much the end to put these in because I just wanted to figure out where they'd look best. I know it doesn't look great at the moment, but I will cover it with moss and you'll see in a bit. See, now that it has moss on it, you almost can't see it in there. Looks pretty good. I think he'll use it to hide, and eventually I can put like a petri dish under there and it can like lay eggs in there, hopefully, when there's the 2 other ones grown up. There he goes. You can see him hiding in the hut. Funny, because he likes it in there. Please, if you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe. It really, really helps me out. And please leave a like and comment on what you think I should do next. Goodbye.